Hi students, welcome to session 23, video 81. So far we have completed 22 sessions and 80 video modules, and all those covered first four units, and now we are in fifth unit, and I think we left with one more session. With that we are going to complete all no, the contents of no, the entire syllabus. So with this, let me welcome you for this the present video module. This is prepared on change management. So this module is mainly meant for understanding basic concepts of change management, or sometimes we just know use interchangeably managing change, right? Managing change, right? So you can see these the two terms uses in a different context, right? So however, so in this module you will understand the change management, right, and its various the dimensions, right? So the change management is the creation and implementation of the roles, processes, and tools that each of these groups use to effectively manage the people side of change. Because the change is no, happening continuously. Change is the only constant. We cannot stop the change. Change is a natural phenomena, and it will continue. When change is happening and change is not in the hands of anyone, it is a part of nature. Being an organization, no, responsible members. So our role is change our organization, change ourselves, right, as per the changes that are happening in the society, right? So sometimes, as an organization, when we are leading, right, and sometimes we lead the even change also, we become the center for changes that are happening in the society. So in that case, you are the change maker, right? And then you are not the follower of others, and you are not following the changes, so you are the no, in front, so bringing the changes in the society. That is also possible. So for example, if you are a change maker, so you are in forefront. If you are changing as per the changes, you are following the changes. And if you are not able to the follow the changes, the change changes us, right? So we have to. So if we are not able to change, even if the change is not able to change us, so then we will not be in the the business, or we will be out of business, because we lose the relevance of the present the trends, and then the context of the business, right? Hope you understood the change as a whole. So to the organization, the change is have a structured the change and management processes suitable to the nature of the changes. So organization system, organization structure, organizational activities needs to be changed time to time as per the changes that are required at the different levels, right? And sometimes you can see the change to the employees, understand so what change means, and then how it affects me, and have some the skills to manage the change. So uh, one has to have an idea, or aware the change that is happening, and then we have to adapt the change and then follow the change, and try to just know the try to know and try to develop the skills of managing the change in the organizations, right? So further, if you just look at the characteristics of change, change management, or whatever it is. So management as a continuous process, management as a discipline, management as a career, management as an applied service, the guidance, and then management is a good oriented, and management is a leadership, management is a human activity. So in all this sense, you can see all these are the subject to the changes, prone to the changes. So if you look at the definition, that is, it is the process of planning and implementing the change in an organization in such a way that minimize the employees' resistance and then cost, and then simultaneously maximize the effectiveness of the change. So when the change is necessary, change is inevitable. So then what you have to do, you have to plan in such a way that implement the change in the organization, and so that so we can minimize the the cost, and then we can just overcome the resistance of the employees in a tactful manner, so that effectively we can bring the change for the benefit of the organizations, right? So if you just look at the need to adopt the change, so time changes, the people changes, and things changes, situation changes, hence so do the organizations changes. So all the on all the sense, you have to bring the changes in the organization. The change, organizational change occurs as a reaction to an ever changing environment, or a response to the current the crisis situations. On the other hand, it is triggered by the progressive the manners. So you can see always the change happens. Changes, if you look at the positive side, it is a good, and then the progress. So individuals in the teams or organizations that do not adapt to change the timely way are unlikely to survive. So as I was mentioning, that if you are not able to change, then you will not survive in the business. So the organizations which recognize the inevitability of the change learn to adopt it, and then attempt to manage. So will be manage the change successfully. So because the change happens, changes around and changes everywhere. So we have to change according to the change that is happening, and then adopt the change and use the change for the benefit of the organizations. So that is what is required. Right, and then forces for change is another important area. So what are the forces are really bringing the change in the organization? So if you just look at the environmental the forces, like put pressure on how a firm conducts its business and its relationship with customers, suppliers, and then employees. And environmental forces includes the political the factors, economic factors, and the changing customer needs and then preferences. These are all environmental forces which actually the causing and then source of the changes, right? And then internal the forces, like the farm decisions and then within the company, and may originate with the top executives and then managers, and then the different levels, like you can see the travels to top to down, and everywhere we have to change our product and our design and then services, and then the way we are working, and then we have to improve the quality time to time. So all these internally you will see the changes that are happening. So if you just see the types of organizational change, so that is there. So evolutionary the change and revolutionary change. So evolutionary change is the gradual and intermittent, and then narrowly focused, right? And then its main purpose is to make continuous improvement in order to adjust the environmental changes. That is evolution. So gradually, slowly, you will bring the changes in the organization, and then try to cope up with the adjust with the environmental changes. So the second one, the revolutionary change, is something rapidly dramatic and then broadly focused, right? It often happens when the current operations methods can no longer fulfill the demand, and then a significant change has to be made. So it's a revolutionary change is something bringing a complete change in the system. If you just see the example for these two, a revolutionary change is something related to the social, social technical aspects, and then TQM, introducing new thing, and developing new methods and models, bringing some kind of revolutionary changes to improve the product quality, or change the culture of the organizations, due to social and then other aspects. So evolutionary change, like re-engineering and then restructuring and then innovations. It is gradually you will bring, and then try to bring the changes in the existing system without much replacement. So that is what is revolutionary and evolutionary, right? So with this, let me just stop here, and then hope you understood the concept of the change management, and we're looking forward to meet you again to further elaborate and discuss about the change management in the video 82. Thank you.